Turn it off.
No!
You're strong, but you're not that strong. Turn it off.
Fuck you. Listen, I genuinely think that is an incredibly stupid concept to follow. When I hear people say, just turn your brain off and enjoy this particular show, I always take a step back and wonder, why would I do that? Because you're basically telling me that this show I'm supposed to watch and invest my time in is a mediocre, trashy anime. Am I wrong? What does turn your brain off actually mean? Now, I'm not going to be a retard and take it literally, but let's define this phrase. It usually means to enjoy what is presented solely on entertainment value. It may also mean not to take a show too seriously. I'm not talking about comedy, parody, or satire in any way, but in general. I would also say that turn your brain off has nothing to do with how ridiculous a show is. You have JoJo and Gurren Lagann, where you have to accept the ridiculousness while keeping your brain functioning at the same time. This phrase often gets misused when talking about fanservice shows or shows that are easy to comprehend by nature, shows that are not too complex. And it's stupid because in the case of a fanservice anime, I know exactly what I'm getting myself into. That's probably the reason I'm watching it in the first place, and for the latter case, it's just another stupid confusion that people seem to make because a show isn't particularly thought-provoking. Let's face it, turn off your brain is essentially an excuse people use when they don't want to admit that a show they enjoyed is pretty bad. Let's be honest, I, and I'm sure you too, watch and enjoy some questionable and to a certain extent trashy anime. There's no shame in that. Some people like to call them guilty pleasures. I don't judge. I don't go out of my way to defend these shows when they're criticized. But what annoys me is the irony that if one person tells you to turn your brain off, or use the other phrase, don't take it seriously, as a defense or a way to deflect criticism, there's a good chance that same person gave the anime a praiseworthy accolade. I don't know about you, but praising a show means you did take it seriously in terms of ascending quality. I personally can't turn off my brain. I can't even eat and watch anime, not including snacks, but meals. But why, you may wonder? Because I feel the need to hand over my full attention to whatever show I watch. There is this mutual respect between the viewer and the material. I'm offering you my time, so don't trick me and return a shitty, nonsensical product. If I'm paying attention because I don't want to miss anything, then show me I don't. This may sound a bit exaggerated, but that's because I'm referring to every genre of anime. Generally speaking, of course, genres like the slice of life may not require such investment and attention to details in order to understand the plot and have fun watching it. I'm not a pretentious person who only looks for deep characters and meaningful themes. I do have standards as any other person, but I'm willing to give any anime a try as long as it's fairly close to my taste and makes sense contextually. To further explain my point, let's take an example. I don't know, Tokyo Ghoul. That was popular once, everyone must have seen it or some of it, but if you haven't, I won't go into any details besides the first, maybe the second episode. Now look, Tokyo Ghoul could have been a very enjoyable anime for me. I would lie if I said that I didn't felt a weird desire to have a cup of coffee every time the characters had in the show. But regardless, I couldn't enjoy it because of the sheer amount of bullshit it had in almost every scene. I can get over the way Rize, one of the most powerful ghouls, was killed. I mean, steel pipes, they must hit hard. It's not like ghouls have incredible strength and super fast regeneration, so I suppose that's okay. Then in the next scene, this doctor is like, "Hey young Kaneki, we found you almost dead, but luckily for you there was a woman beside you, presumably dead, what a coincidence, and we replaced your damaged organs with hers, no question asked." Okay, fine, I can get over that. Shortly after we find out, with the help of Mr. TV, that ghouls cannot eat human food. Why? Who knows, doesn't matter, they can drink coffee. I mean, geez, am I supposed to turn off my brain and enjoy What? A show that doesn't make any sense? Ghouls are fine with human meat, but a burger, animal meat, is disgusting? How am I supposed to care about a show that cannot even get the basics right? Are you going to tell me that I'm taking it too seriously? Why is that? Is it a comedy? A satire? No, it's not. It's a serious show. These things are not that big of a deal if taken separately, but when seen and experienced one after another, it makes you think about what you shouldn't. And that's the point when the experience is ruined. I dislike cucumbers. They're only water and have no taste whatsoever. When you tell me to turn off my brain, it's like you're telling me to eat those cucumbers and enjoy them. I can try, but I won't enjoy them. Look, fun and enjoyment are especially subjective when it comes to art, and anime is undeniably art. If you're the type of person who can dismiss certain aspects of an anime, like say the pacing was all over the place but you enjoyed it regardless, then that's that. Keep doing things the way it makes you happy. But I can't appreciate a show on a surface level if that show doesn't respect my time or at least tries to do so. But what do you think? What do you make of the phrase, turn off your brain? Do you find it as ridiculous as I do, or do you actually believe in it?